I'm excited to tell you the big news of the week. Put myself in the shoes of me as a little kid. I'm just giddy again. Because do you know what is now airing on not Me TV, not our friends over there at Me TV? I don't know if there's an affiliation behind the scenes, but it's FE TV, Family Entertainment Television, FETV. FETV. It's over there on, FE TV, I think, is if you're going with the Me TV example.
Well, if you have a free channel, you wouldn't want to pronounce your channel as FE TV. FE is free?
But it's Family Entertainment, FETV.
Whose family?
Well, your family or my family or anybody's family. The Addams family, for that. They might even show that here pretty soon. But it's entertainment for the whole family. You got everybody from grandma and grandpa down to the kids and the pups and the kitties. But guess what has debuted now, and they started airing it from Volume 1, Issue 1, from Season 1, Episode 1, that I had never seen before. One of my favorite TV shows of all time, and now back on the air. Can you guess what it is?
Captain Video.
Oh, God damn it. Do they even still have a library of Captain Video, or was that all in the pre-Kinescope days?
I'm not sure. So it's a show from your youth? Is that what it is?
I dropped a clue earlier, but you probably weren't listening.
Usually not. Is it
bigger than a bread box?
Chatty Patty?
No, I'll save the listeners.
Tubby the Tuba?
The rest of the Tubby the Tuba. Womp, 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 with a Peter Griffin musical walk. No, I'll save the listeners the rest of your vain, lame attempts at fucking ad-lib here. You're not going to make the groundlings this week, Brian.
Oh, no.
Daniel Boone is back on FE TV that you don't have to pay for. Daniel Boone with Fess Parker. Daniel Boone, the 1960s TV series. And when I was a kid, when I was, say, 5 years old, besides the fact that that was the only time, except for the local news, where anybody on TV was talking about Kentucky. Well, how could you not be hooked? As a 5-year-old kid, you see Daniel Boone throw the tomahawk and split the tree in half, and here come the credits, and I'm like, as a 5-year-old, I'm like, God damn, he must have thrown that real hard, because I've run into some of these trees around here, and I don't think they'd go that easy.
Davy Crockett wannabe.
He was. No, he wasn't a Davy Crockett wannabe.
It was Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett, too.
Yeah, it was Davy Crockett, actually.
Yes, sir. Fess Parker became a goddamn multimillionaire, owned fucking massive real estate in California, a vineyard or a winery or whatever they call them type of things, all based on portraying people wearing raccoon pelts on the top of their heads.
When I was a kid, the Disney Channel, which was just starting up on cable in the 80s, other than Donald Duck Presents, they always had Davy Crockett and then, of course, Zorro, the gay blade.
Well, we don't know what Zorro's private life was like, and I think it's presumptuous of you.
No, it has nothing to do with his sexuality. He's just happy. He's happy with a blade. He's like Moxley.
Ronnie P. Gossett used to say that. He'd say, I'm not gay, I'm just happy. Or I'm just friendly, is what he'd say. But nevertheless, Fess Parker was Davy Crockett in 1955-56, the season of Disneyland, where they recounted the exploits of Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier, and it led to the first big kids television merchandising boom. They were earlier really than the big Mickey Mouse Club shit. And it was fucking Fess Parker mania and Davy Crockett mania all over the place. And so when they're going to do Daniel Boone, well, who's got the market cornered on the goddamn frontiersman? They go to Fess Parker again. And there he is as Daniel Boone.
I'll never get another role as good as Davy Crockett. Guess what? Keep that hat.
And again, there he is. He's in the coonskin cap, right? But he contributed to a lot of delinquent children, did Daniel Boone. Now that I've seen, because I I've never seen the first episode because it aired 2 weeks before my 3rd birthday. So I was not into the hour-long network dramas, in the evening at that point in time. But over the next couple of years, as I mentioned, boom, not only the fucking tomahawk going through the tree, but then in the 1966 fall season, everything goes to color pretty much on network. And my dad got a one of those beautiful old console color TVs. It was a giant piece of furniture from the newspaper as a thank you for I don't know what it was. But and so we were watching, and then the color episodes, boom. Now I'm hooked on Daniel and Mingo, his good bosom buddy, and then later on Gabe, Rosie Greer. But then they started syndicating the black and white episodes from the first couple seasons, and you get the fine character actor Albert Salmi playing Yadkin. And we wonder where Daniel's daughter Jemima went when they went to color. I'm not sure what happened there. Suddenly it was just poor old Israel was a single child. But nevertheless, he led to a lot of delinquent children. Because if you were trying to imitate Daniel Boone and live your life like he did, think about this. It's an attractive song. They draw you right in. Daniel Boone was a man. Yes, a big man. And he fought for America to make all Americans free. From the coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoes. The rippinest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Well, that's cool, right? All the kids want to be like that.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Right?
Right.
But then think about what he's doing. For example, in the first episode, he was instructed by the General Washington up there in Philadelphia, where the capital was back in the 1770s, to go down and check out this place called Kentucky, the dark and bloody ground. Because this place was fucking wild back then, right? The Indians didn't even live here full time. They just used it as the hunting ground. It was very inhospitable territory. Imagine them mountains. And he said, Daniel, go and blaze a trail through the Cumberland Gap. Okay. Or maybe sometimes Daniel, after he established Fort Boonesboro, he needed to go up and see the Continental Congress about something, or go to see the Liberty Bell, and he'd have to bop up to Philadelphia. So what he would do, him and Yadkin, or him and Mingo, they'd kiss, well, he would kiss his wife. Mingo or Yadkin wasn't allowed to kiss Rebecca while Daniel was around, but Daniel would kiss his wife, Rebecca, and they would take off walking on foot, carrying a one-shot rifle that took 2 minutes to reload, wearing the clothes on their back, no horse, no wagon, no luggage. And they'd go to commercial. And that son of a bitch, 3 minutes later, at the end of the goddamn commercial break, they'd be walking up the front steps in Philadelphia to talk to General Washington. That's 600 fucking miles of driving. How the fuck did... And then they'd go back. And then Becky would say, oh, Dan, you've been gone 3 weeks. 3 weeks to walk 1,200 miles through the goddamn mountains that you couldn't lead a horse through back then? How the fuck did he do this? So all these kids, I, for one, thought one day, well, I'll just walk to Philadelphia. Well, I got 1.5 miles down the fucking road in the cow pasture, and I was like, well, fuck, where's Philly? And another thing, did you ever see the cabin? The cabin on the outside, it looks like it's 20 by 20 feet, right? But inside, the cabin, it's beautiful. They got a sitting area. They got the big fireplace. They got the dining room table. They got all kinds of antiques and stuff. They got the bed area, and then the loft up there where Israel sleeps, and I don't know where they put Jemima. And it's immaculate. And I know it gets hot in the fucking summertime in Kentucky, and it gets cold in the wintertime. but nobody's ever shivering and nobody's ever freezing. I used to ask my mother, why is it so clean in the Boone's cabin and it's so messy around here? Or how come we're sweating? Because we ain't got the central air put in yet. The Boones are comfortable. A lot of smart-mouthed children propagated by that program. And if you notice, I've noted from the first season also, I've noticed one more thing. Apparently, it was a network requirement because I've seen this on a couple of occasions. He could shoot all the Indians he wanted, but when he went to shoot the bear, they couldn't show the bear getting hit with a bullet. Apparently, it would upset the children. But meanwhile, he's picking these goddamn Indians off right and left, and they're fucking taking bumps and screaming and dying. That didn't upset the children.
All right. Well, tune in next week and Jim will review Petticoat Junction here on the show.
No, we already did that, remember?
Oh, God.
A couple of years ago, we were talking about the fact that, pretty much all through the run of the series, you had the same Betty Jo because she was the daughter of the producer of the program. But the Bobby Joes and the Billy Joes, they were bouncing all over the place. No pun intended. I would have liked to have wondered if the people in Hooterville were using the water tower that they took the baths in naked while their clothing was strung willy-nilly across the top of it. Were they using that for drinking water?
I don't know.
Would you like to move on, Brian?
Yes.